It's Tina and I am back, and I am here with another Get Ready With Me makeup tutorial. And I have just been pushing these out. I have been on a roll with Get Ready With Me videos. I've really been enjoying putting on eyeshadow and makeup and just doing a full face for you guys, and hopefully you guys have been enjoying these videos as well. Now this look is a very warm look. I even paired it with a warm brown lip, and I really love how it came out. Now it may be clashing a little bit with this black shirt, but I didn't want to change it, so we're just gonna roll with it. It would probably go better with a complete white shirt or ivory shirt, but that's neither here nor there. It's just a fun pumpkin inspired look because Sugarpill is re-releasing, or has re-released, their pumpkin spice limited edition pressed eyeshadow for the holidays, and I got this last time they released it, and I saw it online and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna use it today. And you know what, it is a bit of a bitch to play with. It doesn't really show up as intensely or as metallic as I would like, so I did have to pop a bit of glitter on the center of my lid. I use Carrot Head from Cosmetics. But if you want to see how I got this orange toned look, then stay tuned and I'll talk to you soon. Hello there. So I am starting off with my brows already filled in, and the first thing I'm going to grab is my primer potion from Urban Decay. This is the anti-aging primer potion. I'm just applying this all over my eyelids to help prevent creasing of our eyeshadows. Then I'm going in with my Makeup Forever Full Cover Concealer in shade number 12. I'm going to apply that all over my lids and under my brows. This is going to help create a sharp outline on the underside of our brows to clean up the shape, as well as cover any stray hairs that weren't tweezed, and it will also act as our eyeshadow base for our eyeshadow look. So I'm just blending that all over my lids using my Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush, and I really love using this concealer as an eyeshadow base. We're doing a pretty neutral eye today using my Melt Cosmetics stacks, and the shade I'm going in with is Blur. You can buy these in stacks or you can buy them as single eyeshadows, and Blur is one of those shades that I say if you wanted to try any, this would be the one to try because it's a great transition blending shade for a lot of people. So I'm just blending that in my crease using my Eddie Funkhauser large crease brush. Now I'm going to grab more of a caramelly shade. Let me see. It's a mustard brown shade. This is Rubbish, and it's from their Rust stack, which has more kind of warm tone rusty shades. So I'm just blending that on the outer crease area and on the inner crease area very lightly using the Eddie Funkhauser brush. So this is going to give us just a light diffused layer of color rather than being really intense. Now I'm going back to the Rust stack and I'm grabbing the shade Rust. So this is the namesake shade, and this is, like I said, it's a rusty brown shade with orangey and brick undertones, and I'm buffing that on my outer lid area using a Smith Cosmetics 247 small quill brush, and I'm concentrating that just on the inner and outer lid area, building up the color before I go ahead and apply it to the center of the crease. So I'm creating a halo effect with this eyeshadow and leaving the center of my lid completely blank. Now we'll go back in with our blending brush just to go around the edges and make sure everything is nice and blended and seamless. Now I wanted to add more of an orangey tone to this look, so I'm going into my Colored Raine Queen of Hearts palette and grabbing the shade Empress, which is a matte bold orange shade, but it's not too neon orange, and I'm just applying that to the inner and outer lid area, the same I did with the other shades using that Smith Cosmetics brush, and then I'll go back in with the Eddie Funkhauser brush just to blend all the shades together to give an overall seamless or warm tone to the eyes. And now to deepen up the outer lid, I'm going in with the shade Rott, also from Melt Cosmetics. This is from the Rust stack as well, and I'm applying this very gently on the outer lid and outer V area using that small Smith Cosmetics brush just to make sure we have that intense definition without being too overwhelming. and I'll slowly build up the color and blend out the edges as we go because I want to make sure I can control the intensity. Then I'll go back in with the blending brush and just blend around the crease area to make sure we don't have any harsh lines on that brow bone space. Now for the color of the look, this is Pumpkin Spice from Sugarpill. I'm applying that on my lid area using a little bit of my Aqua Seal from Makeup Revolution, and I'm applying that using a Rite Aid Small Synthetic brush. Now with this shade, the Aqua Seal was really not working. I was trying to build up the color and dampen it and make it really stick and adhere to that lid, but it was really not working out. So I went in with my Smashbox Primer Water instead, because this will really pack on that color and intensify the boldness of the shimmer. Now, I was a little bit disappointed in this Pumpkin Spice shade. I was expecting it to be a lot more intense and orange than it did turn out, but we're going to fix that a little bit later by adding some glitter. But for now, I'm going back into the Colored Raine palette and using the orange of the palette to blend out the edges of that Pumpkin Spice shade. And I'll go back in and make sure we blend. So you build and blend, and that's just how you progress with an eyeshadow look. You always have to build and blend as you go. Going back into the mustardy yellow brown shade, which is rubbish, I'm going to blend around the edges just to make everything blend seamlessly together. And then I'll apply my mascara, which is my Too Faced Better Than Sex, and really build that up on my lashes. Like I said, we're going to use some glitter to pump up this look. So I'm grabbing my Carrot Head glitter from Lit Cosmetics. This is the size number 2, and I'm using the Clearly Liquid Glitter base, also from Lit Cosmetics, and just applying that directly on the center of the lid over that Pumpkin Spice shade to really amp up the color, because that Pumpkin Spice was just a little bit too weak for me, and this Carrot Head really made the look come together well. Now for my lashes, I decided after all to go in with lashes because the look just, with the glitter, it needed lashes. So I'm using my Eylure number 17 lashes, just popping those on. Then I'll go in with my Sephora Beauty Amplifier Ultra Smoothing Primer. Now I'm just using this up because I don't really love it, but it's a decent silicone primer, to be honest. But I really don't like silicone primers on myself. But it did really work to smooth out my skin and fill in my pores. I'm going to grab my Fiona Styles Matte Finish Foundation Concentrate. I also have the Satin Finish Foundation Concentrate, and I'm mixing the two together. The shade that I use is number 9, and I'm blending this over my skin using my Marc Jacobs The Face 3 brush. And I like blending a matte shade with a satin shade if I can find two that work well together, and these two work perfectly together to give me that satin finish to my skin. Then I'll grab my concealer. This is the Bare Minerals Bare Skin Complete Coverage Serum Concealer in the shade Dark to Deep, and I'm applying that directly under my eyes to help cover up those dark circles. And I'll blend it out using this sponge I got from ULTA. It was one of their gift with purchases, and it's actually a decent sponge for what I use it for, just to tap out my concealer under my eyes and just blend it out. It actually works pretty nicely. So to set everything in place, I'm going to use my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Powder Foundation. This is in the shade 600 Golden Beige. I'm just buffing that over my skin using my Tarte Powder Player Brush. And then I'll go in with a little bit of contour, which is really a bronzy shade for me. This is the Becca Multitasking Powder in the shade Golden Bronze, and I'm just applying that using my F109 brush from Urban Decay. I decided I wanted to use my Double Duty Beauty Contour and Highlight Palette from Tarte Cosmetics, and this is a beautiful subtle contour shade on me. I thought it wouldn't show up, but it does show up pretty nicely and gives me a really subtle chiseling to my face without being too overwhelming. I really like that. So I'm going to finish up the contour using that Multitasking powder again from Becca, just applying it to the temple area, which I need a more bronzy tone here. The Tarte one is a little bit more of a neutral undertone. And I'm just making sure that I really blend everything together so it looks seamless on my skin. Now I'm going to set my brows in place using my Brow Tamer from Urban Decay. This is in the shade Dark, and I've been using a brow gel to set my brows in place a lot lately because it looks a little bit more natural, because you can really see the hair stand out when you use this brow gel. Now I'm going to highlight the underside of my brows, and I am using the shade Classic from the Rust stack again from Melt Cosmetics on a MAC 252 large shader brush just to blend everything together. For my blush, I'm using this Longwear Staining blush. It's the Instain blush from theBalm Cosmetics in the shade Swiss Dot, and I'm buffing that on my cheeks using a Zoeva blush brush, and I'm keeping everything very warm coral orange toned on my face to go along with the eye look. For my highlight, I'm going to use this Amazonian Clay highlighter from Tarte. It's one of their new shades. It's in the shade Day Gleam, and I'm applying that just on the tops of my cheeks using one of my brushes from Morphe just to blend that in. And this is a nice little highlight brush from Morphe, and this highlight is actually really beautiful and subtle as well. Going back into the colored Raine Queen of Hearts palette, I'm grabbing that Empress shade, which is the matte orange, on a MAC 242 small shader brush, and applying that all along my lower lash line area. And then I'll grab the shade Rust from the Melt Cosmetics Rust stack, which is that deep orangey brown shade, and apply it right along the lower lash line as well, but going closer to the lower lashes. And I'll make sure I go in and blend out the edges. This is a GSN number 10 brush from Chikuhodo. Now I'm going to apply my lower lash mascara, which is my MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara. Just making sure those lashes stand out on the lower lash line. And then for my lower waterline, I'm going to use my Rimmel Scandalized Eyeshadow Crayon. This is in the shade Bootleg Brown, which is a dark brown shade, just to line the lower waterline. And for my lips, I'm using a colored Raine liquid lipstick in the shade Whatever, which is a deep caramelly brown shade. And I love the orangey undertones in this liquid lipstick because it pairs well with the orangey tones in the glitter on our eyelids. Alright guys, so that's gonna finish up the look, and again, I really love how this turned out, even though I had to amp up the pumpkin spice color on the center of my lid. I was expecting a little bit more from it, and I couldn't find my Anastasia Beverly Hills. There's a color that she does that's very similar to that. It's a metallic shade, and I couldn't find it. I'm like, where the heck is it? I know it's somewhere. I just have to find it. But the glitter came in and saved the look at the end of the day. And this lip, I really love this lip. Like, I love deep brown lips, and I love that this one has a little bit more warmth, a little bit more orange tones to it. I really love how this looks, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this tutorial as well. And it was good to put the Melt Cosmetics stacks to use so I could show you how they perform, and honestly, they don't perform that poorly. They do well over a nice base, a nice primer. If you use a base that doesn't pick up eyeshadow very well, so it doesn't grab on and intensify the pigmentation of eyeshadows, these can get a little bit sheer. So using the concealer on my lids did actually make these perform very nicely, even though I do think the stacks are overpriced. I would never buy these full price ever again. Like, knowing what I know now, I would never repurchase these for full price. I would buy them on sale, but not full price. So that's just to give you a little miniature thoughts on those stacks. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Again, I will leave a full list of the products used down below in the description box in case you missed anything and you want to check out those products. I have them linked as well. And I also have links to my Instagram and Twitter page where you should be following me along, right? Right? Yeah. And until my next video, which will be very soon, guys, I'll talk to you. Bye.